Recently, we reported that Adele had to cancel her upcoming Las Vegas residency because of a massive outbreak in her crew. But according to Caesar's Palace, the situation involves more than just that. Adele mainly said that it was because of the pandemic that she couldn't continue with her show, but the staff at Caesars say that it has more to do with her not being satisfied with production. Adele told her fans in November that she was going to be taking a residency in Las Vegas at the world-famous Caesar's Palace. She would be performing 2 shows each weekend between January 21st and April 16th. The show was going to be titled Weekends with Adele, and the first concert was actually supposed to take place last weekend. Unfortunately, just hours before, Adele puts out this video saying that her show just wasn't ready. She went on to stress that she and her team had tried absolutely everything they could to pull it together in time and for it to be good enough for you, but they had been absolutely destroyed by delivery delays and COVID. She went on to say that half of her team had been forced into isolation after getting COVID, which made it almost impossible to finish the show. Adele went on to further describe how she was feeling about the cancellation and described herself as gutted, upset, and embarrassed as she repeatedly apologized to her fans and explained that her and her team had been up for over 30 hours just trying to figure this all out. But the end result was still the same, leaving Adele no choice but to announce that she was unable to perform with the current state of her show. But the staff at Caesar's Palace claimed the real reason was due to Adele being unhappy with various set pieces, her choir, the sound system, and other things involved with her show. Several sources told the press that they could not satisfy her level of production demands and said that Adele felt that a number of things were just not good enough for her. Despite that, they figured that she would work around it, and so were shocked to find out that Adele had canceled her shows at the last minute. They confirmed that they had been working hard on every part of the show since December, but even with them pulling it all together at the 11th hour, they were told that Adele was just not satisfied. So that really tells me that this late cancellation could have more to do with the crew pulling it together at the last second. I mean, that would leave almost no room for any changes to be made if necessary. But let's continue with more of Adele's grievances. According to a new report from Page 6, Adele was supposed to stand in the middle of a pool for one of her performances, but she compared the final design to an old pond. The source goes on to say, when she saw the finished design, she refused to take part. Adele described the pool as a baggy old pond and refused point blank to stand in the middle of it. The intention was to fill it with water on the set as she was lifted up on a crane type mechanism, creating the illusion that she was floating on water. She also allegedly clashed with the venue over her 60-person choir and had arguments with her set designer Esmeralda Devlin. The source goes on to say, in spite of the set costing millions to put together, Adele was unhappy with the result, and she made her feelings very clear to Esmeralda. She was already nervous, and the falling out sent her spiraling into a panic because she was desperate that everything should be perfect. And Adele is feeling the heat online after many fans booked hotels and actually flew to Las Vegas for that first show. Some fans claim to even have paid between $85 and $12,000 per ticket, with some even being resold on the black market for upwards of $30,000. One user writes, postponing/rescheduling is inconvenient but understandable. Postponing 24 hours before the show when people are already en route is disrespectful and unacceptable. This is a call that should have been made much sooner. With another adding, seriously, postpone if you need to, that's fine, but 28 hours before? I flew in this morning, are you going to refund me my flight, hotel, and the $90 rapid COVID test that was mandatory? This is so effed up. On top of that, many other people were also clowning her over saying that her entire crew had to be fully vaccinated, but then ended up canceling the show because half of her team got COVID. One person writes, the irony of Adele having to cancel her Vegas shows due to COVID when she insists all concert goers be vaccinated. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this though, because that's all the time that we have for today. So stay classy, and I'll see you in the next one.